Julio got iced in both championships.
What kind of
And
wizardry
Baker,
is this?
Yeah, 3 touchdowns.
Motherfucking Higgins.
I think Minnesota could beat them. I do.
What are you wearing there really quick? Can you show the... There you go. That's naughty.
Oh,
We don't talk about no-no zones here.
He showed poise and maturity, which he should for a 25-year-old rookie, but
Continue.
I'm older than you, sir. He has been bad since that game.
There's nothing wrong with playing a game where your butthole is really tight, and that's what's going to be happening next week. So, here we go.
Gentlemen.
Pressure makes diamonds are cold.
Gentlemen.
Diamonds are cold, yeah.
Gentlemen.
Pressure makes diamonds are cold.
Gentlemen.
Diamonds are cold, yeah. It's just two dudes being gents talking sports.
That's what I love about Wyatt. He can talk himself into anything.
Welcome in to episode 50, the big 50 of Two Gents talking sports and shit. But today we got 3 gents. How you doing, Nate? Having you back?
good. How are you guys?
Great.
Good,
Julio?
good.
Have good holidays?
Happy holidays.
Congratulations on the fantasy win. Excuse me. Sorry.
Good job, man.
Thank you. I had to get the
Congratulations.
monkey off my back. It's about time I won one.
I'll delete that. I'll edit that out. I'm joking. No, congratulations. And
Thank you.
Brandon, I don't know if you want to say his last name, but our friend Brandon won the Gentleman's
Oh,
League.
Fitzy.
He won the Gentleman's League.
Congrats.
Julio got iced in both championships.
Second place. I was going to say, I feel kind of like, up to this point, Josh Allen's career. Like, very
Like,
close.
played just the first 2.
Just very close. Just not quite, just don't got it.
Bro got
Maybe,
swept.
there's always next year.
Oh,
Nope.
sorry.
We
Go ahead.
got the part 1. We got this 2-part episode again. Part 1 is top 5 coaches. Part 2, or the second segment, it's recaps, 2 games each, and then the third segment is Gent and Scalawags. And part 2 of this episode, we'll go to Hold the Lines and then do some fantasy, loaves of meat, and ugly ducklings.
Top 5 coaches of the week.
All right. Who's first with coaches?
I can go first. I have Nick Sirianni over years. No Hurts. And at some points, no Pickett. No problem.
Yeah.
Guaranteed second place in the NFC conference and just kind of still doing their things.
Oh, Nicky Sirianni. That guy's got it going on.
Who you
5 for
Who
you,
got?
Nate?
I don't have 5, sadly. I only have 1 again.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll wait then.
Yep.
Save it for last.
Hold it.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
Nope, it's
sorry.
on you.
Okay,
It's on you, brother.
my 5th one is going to be Jim Harbaugh. First year with the Chargers, and they make the playoffs. I expected this, but it's still pretty amazing, especially in the division he's in with Sean Payton and Andy Reid. The Raiders suck, but still, tough division. Really, really great job this year. Who's your 4?
Yes, as sad as it is to say, he's the ultimate reclamation project guy. He'll turn it around even in a year.
Immediately.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I have number 4. I got Harbaugh.
Okay.
Clinched the playoff spot. They had a hiatus from last year. No playoffs last year. He led the 49ers to 3 out of 4 years going to the playoffs when he was coaching there. He's been to a Super Bowl. Now he's back in the big dance. And he also, Herbert, little note, he's the quickest player to 20,000 yards for a quarterback.
Yeah, he can sling it.
And that was with a
excuse me.
defensive coordinator as a head coach for the last 5 years or since he's been in the league.
Yeah, and they're not even good. My 4th is going to be John Harbaugh
Johnny.
because the Ravens looked bad and they've turned it around and looked really good in the last 5 or so games. I've been impressed.
They had a tough stretch
like-
there in the middle of the season, and they've flipped it around. They got back to running the ball again, and that's really
Yeah.
helped.
Yep.
Yeah, Lamar and Henry both combined for like 260 in the last game.
Mhm.
Getting back to your ways. My number 3 is Zach Taylor because he's keeping his team alive like John Travolta, and every game is a must-win for the past 5 or 6 weeks. They need
Yeah.
they need a lot of help to get in the playoffs still, but they're doing their part. I think they need the Chiefs to beat the Broncos basically, but
Mm.
I don't think anybody wants to see frosted tips and Jamar come playoff time. Because I just don't think these Bengals really give a shit anymore. So
Oh, damn it. Nate, Buccaneers coach. Sorry.
Todd Bowles.
Bulls.
Todd Bowles. That's my third. Sorry, I didn't write them down. I'm
You're
just
good.
going off the top.
I
Yeah,
like
You're
it.
they
good.
have been crushing people with the running game, and Baker has been on a string. Unbelievable. Yeah, Nate had Baker and Burrow, and it was just two pocket quarterbacks that were straight throwing dimes all day long.
I don't even know why they just were they're up 30 and they just kept throwing it.
Well, he was on fire. His EPA, his
Carolina.
extra points added for Baker Mayfield was plus 23, which is the most in his career. And that's
I think he wanted to get to 40.
Huh?
He wanted to get to 40. I think he's got 39.
Yeah. What is it?
Passing touchdowns?
Yeah, he's got 39. He
Oh,
wants to get to
yeah.
40. I think he threw 5, and then he was only got to throw 1 next week.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a beast.
Uh,
He's somewhere where he's liked. Number 2?
or 2, sorry.
Number 2, I'm going to go with Andy Reid. 15-1, number 1 seed in the AFC. Mahomes and Reid duo as a duo. Sorry, that's their third time, I believe. Third or fourth time with the number 1 seed. But that's 9 consecutive AFC West titles. Last time they had the number 1 seed, they won the Super Bowl. They're coming off back-to-back. They're trying for the three-peat. Jones didn't play yesterday. No problem. Kelsey surpassed Hines Ward in receptions, and he passed Tony Gonzalez for touchdowns in the franchise, Kansas City franchise. And just doing big things there and accomplishing a lot every year.
Yeah, he will steal your nuggies.
He definitely will. He has.
That's all I got to say. I just make fat jokes about him, and that is it.
He'll steal it once and twice.
Number 1.
It is admirable. It's admirable how they find different ways to win. I mean, it was with the big plays before, and now they're just running the clock, and that's how they
I'm
win
at
now.
2.
They just hold the ball.
2, I'll go Doug McDermott. They've been crushing teams. I love that
Douglas.
they killed Aaron Rodgers. It was so great. Watching him score 0. Awesome.
Too bad it wasn't 0 fantasy points, but
You get
That would've
3,
been.
6.
something
You
like
got
that.
6.
My number 1 is Kevin O'Connell. 14 wins. It's the second most in team history. He's won straight 9 after back-to-back losses earlier in the season. Took down the 11-4 Packers yesterday. And Sam Darnold had a career high 377 yards, along with 3 touchdowns to boot. And I think 98% of that is because of that guy right there, Kevin O'Connell. So, who's your
I'm
number 1?
going Dan.
Say it again.
Yep, I think.
Quinn?
11. Yeah, 11 wins for the first time in I want to say it's been a decade or more. And he's got a great quarterback. The kid is impervious to pressure. I've never seen anything like it. He's amazing. But Quinn does defense, and his defense has been solid enough to hold people to just the right amount for Jaden to get on the field. So, yeah, he's my number 1.
Yeah, it's his second
You're
head
never out
coaching
of it.
job. Yeah, it's his second head coaching job, and I feel like he learned a lot along the way in between his first one and now. And you can see it.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
just,
he
like you
took,
said, they're winning
Atlanta to the
those
Super
tough
Bowl,
games.
so.
Mm-hmm.
You're never
All
out
right.
of it with Jaden. He showed you that. He can bring you back from any deficit.
Yeah.
He's like Dr.
I'll talk about him
Frankenstein.
All right, Nate, your coach?
Nate, number 1.
My favorite coach is actually John Harbaugh this week. Their defense has been a little bit suspect, but this last week it was what they needed to make a run. If they're actually capable of making a run, this would be the year. So we'll see
Was
if
it
they
a
can do it. But
shutout, wasn't it? Kind of.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whooped
Yeah,
him.
they only scored on the safety, right?
They
Correct.
put him over their knee and pounded their bottom.
So yeah, it was exciting to see their defense take a step in the right direction after being suspect.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
that was
All right.
definitely
Well, that is your gents, two gents and Nate's top five coaches there. All right. Now we're on to recaps and reactions of week 17. We're going to do two games each. Who wants to get started?
Nate.
I can lead.
Yes.
Show us the way.
Okay.
Lead us.
I'm gonna start by recapping the second ever Christmas Day game in NFL history, Ravens versus Texans, as Lamar jogged his way into the record books as the Ravens dominated the Texans. Lamar broke the career rushing yard record for quarterbacks. He's up over 6,000 rushing yards for his career now on that 48-yard scamper. He also reached a career high 21.2 miles per hour. But he said that he was only jogging. So how fast is this guy really? How fast is this guy really? Derrick Henry also got his way into the record books with his 16th rushing touchdown of the season, breaking the Ravens franchise record.
Who held that? Do you know?
I do not. I should have looked. I
Ray
can't
Rice.
see
Ray Rice?
Is it?
I'm guessing so.
Okay. Yeah, because their records don't go very far back.
Mm-mm.
No. Ingram did a little damage there, but
Sorry,
not a ton.
You're good. Stroud said it was the worst game of his career, and it did look like it. They put up 0. Do you guys think it's time for Houston to panic a little bit, or is this just one game?
I think they're done. They could lose the first round, even hosting.
They will.
It's
Yep.
not. It's not very good. Their offensive line interior is terrible. They give
Jamal
the
Lewis.
most sacks. Jamal Lewis.
Good shout.
That's who it was with 14. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Defense
Yeah, I
plays
think-
hard. They play hard, but they're banged up. Outside receivers. Mixon isn't really getting any push. It's kind of like Montgomery with the Bears. It kind of feels like that.
Yep.
Stroud regressed this season. He did not look the same. As
He's over there
Yeah,
trying to give
I agree.
advice over to Caleb Williams. Caleb's like, I'm good. He's like, no, man, young blood.
Son, my 1 year in the league before this. I'm
Son,
gonna tell you about it.
like,
There's
I'm
some
older
lessons.
than you. Anyway, sorry.
I'm
Continue.
older than you, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Dude, that's the worst part. No.
So
Did you have
yeah, I think there's some concern in Houston, not around their defense, but their offense, which is kind of the opposite of last year. I mean, their defense was playing hard, but Stroud was mainly the one that was keeping them in games last year, and I'm not sure what the main cause of his regression is. Is it more of teams figuring him out, or is he not reading the
It's
things
film
the
and it's
same?
his interior line. Just can't
Yeah.
Julio's
protect. He gets sacked the
then
most.
though, he has been bad since that game.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was like, I don't know what it was. It was just some weird something. I don't know.
So yeah, that's what I got out there. Ravens moved to 11-5 now, right?
Sounds right.
Yes.
And they are in a tie with Pittsburgh and for the division.
They've had some bad losses though. The Raiders lost. Did they lose to the Browns? Or
Pittsburgh lost to the Browns. Oh, Pittsburgh's
Yeah.
10-6 now.
the Ravens lost to somebody else terrible. Who the hell was it?
Yeah. New Orleans or something?
I can't
No,
remember.
no, it
Maybe.
wasn't. No. I know the Raiders.
And-
That was bad.
Yeah, that was a tough one. But yeah, they now lead the division, so they're
What are you drinking?
Lemonade.
Okay.
Big ass.
It's like, it reminded me of the Breakfast Club when Emilio Estevez is like pulling out his lunch. He's like got all those big ass like family size of chips and like 8 sandwiches. All right, I'm gonna go next with Chargers versus Raiders. Or sorry, Chargers. Sorry, my eyes were watery. I didn't read that right. Chargers versus Patriots. Chargers are now 10-6 after that ass whooping. Patriots are 3-13. Score was 40-17, and it wasn't even that close. That was a very important game for the Chargers because they clinched a playoff berth. They were on the road. It was cold. They're from California. Chargers offense scored on 8 of their 10 possessions. McConkey, the rookie, passed Keenan Allen's record with the most rookie receptions, and he tied Odell Beckham for the most consecutive games with 50 plus yards as a rookie. And that's been in the last 20 years. Dobbins came back, had a strong return, perfect timing. He looked pretty healthy, especially in the second half. He had 47 yards and a touchdown. As far as the Patriots side, there was boos coming from their fans. It was their 13th loss, and they were under 200 yards total offense on the day. Drake May will be good, but when he was blitzed, when he wasn't blitzed, I'm sorry, he completed 11 for 15 for 110 yards and a TD. And but though when he's blitzed, he's just above Anthony Richardson as far as efficiency. So we all know, folks, that's not good.
That guy is terrible.
What game you got, Andrew?
I'm going to do Vikings Packers. So
Beautiful.
Vikings take it down 27-25. This was a big time game. They've done this a lot. They get a big lead. They come out very hot. They start beating teams down. And most of the time, they let teams back in it. Now, the Lions took the lead early and did that to them and let them come back in it, which was kind of weird. They do finish, though. They prove they are buttoned up. They're consistent. They are prepared as anyone. And Love on the other side starts really slow. I don't know why that is, but he always does. He had 40 yards in the first half. I'm like, where is?
Like,
He's
what
got a
is
lot of
that?
weapons.
Yeah,
It's
don't even make
it's
no
hard to
sense.
beat good teams with that kind of play. The main difference between Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins is Cousins throws the ball to where receivers are, and Darnold throws the ball to where receivers are going. He is so good at like a 25-yard rope. Now, he doesn't have the greatest little touch here and there to running backs, but when it comes to a throw to Addison or Jefferson or who was the guy that got involved? Naylor and
Naylor.
Hawkinson, he puts it on the money, and they are just amazing weapons for him to have. And I
Yeah.
would stay there if I was him. He's going to get offered a lot of money. Like he has to get like Jordan Love money, like 160 guaranteed, something like that. He has to.
Man, really revamped his career there, huh?
Oh, well, he was out of USC. Was he number one pick or number three
Number two.
or number two? Okay, so I don't know. I just feel like he always had the pedigree, just bad coaching, bad players around him, and he finally got somewhere where Kevin O'Connell can do it with anybody. He's incredible.
His anticipation is what makes him so good. He sees
Yeah.
things before they happen, and that's what
That,
you're hitting on.
that throw to Addison was flat ridiculous. It was just, I mean,
Hmm.
filth. Yeah, I don't have much else for that game, but
Okay.
they're looking good. They're the team I'm most scared of in the league right now.
Next week's gonna be a big game.
It is.
Big game.
All right. What's your second game, Nate?
I got Cincinnati versus Denver. The Bengals moved to 8-8, so they're staying alive, barely, barely. And the Broncos dropped to 9-7. They're trying to blow their Bo Nix is trying to blow being the second old ever quarterback besides John Elway to be a rookie to lead Denver to the playoffs. So if they can beat Kansas City's backups next week, they will be in. But you never know. Joe Burrow extended his streak of 250 plus passing yards and 3 plus touchdowns to 8 consecutive games, which further makes his record even more. He's gone extended from 7 to 8. But Bo Nix also showed some promise with that game time touchdown drive.
Man, that
That
dude.
that touchdown with 8 seconds left was pretty ridiculous. And
The Mims.
yeah, he had two. He had two.
Mims.
He showed poise and maturity, which he should for a 25-year-old rookie. But I mean,
Nice.
still, he's moving in the right direction. He's better than most people thought he would be when they drafted him. So I think Denver's happy with what they have. Interestingly, this was Cincinnati's first win against a team with a winning record all season. So that is interesting.
The right
And
time.
they must beat Pittsburgh next week, and they need help from both Kansas City and the Jets. Jets have to beat Miami as well for Cincinnati to make the playoffs. So they need some help.
Miami has to
Yeah,
win. Has to win.
Miami has to lose.
Yeah, they
New
need
York has to.
Miami to lose and Denver to lose.
Yep.
And
New
Denver's
York.
playing.
Yep. Denver's playing the Chiefs backup, so it's gonna be a tough road for Cincinnati to make the playoffs. But I think most casual NFL fans are hoping that they do, just because they're so exciting on the offensive end.
Hey, I need to do a little mic check. Can you guys hear me? Check, 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 check.
Yeah.
I can hear
Okay.
you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I had to switch mics. I was on the mic behind me, not the one right here. So yeah, I looked down at the mic cord. I'm like, where's the mic cord? I looked. Oh boy. Anyways, back to it. Do you want to go ahead with your game 2, Andrew? Oh no, finish.
Yeah. My second game is going to be Falcons at Commanders. Commanders got it done 30-24. It was in overtime, wasn't it?
Yes.
Falcons.
Yes.
Yes.
It was. Okay. Make it sure. I caught it. Like I fell asleep and then I caught the end. So my bad.
Yeah, it was overtime.
Okay.
Happens to a player.
A lot of people compare Jaden Daniels to Lamar, and we do know why, because people
and
still
RG3,
can't
I
get
guess.
over color. Yeah. But that's why. If he was white, nobody'd say anything about that shit.
Right.
The truth
Denver
is,
has a white cornerback, so that's kind of cool.
Sorry. The truth is, even in his rookie year, Jaden is more clutch than Lamar has ever been. He has 4 fourth-quarter comebacks and 4 game-winning drives this season. Lamar has 10 comebacks and 12 game-winning drives in 7 seasons, though.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid has been beaten by more than one time, and that was oddly to Tampa. But we've learned they can put it on motherfuckers. I don't think I've seen a kid with his skill and talent come into the league this polished. And he is older, and that's fine. But I don't think we've ever seen anything like this.
He does VR training, bro. His mind and eyes and feet and everything's connected virtually.
Got to execute it.
I don't know. You said the Vikings are the scariest team. I agree with you, but I think the Bucks are pretty close too.
They're in my list. I have 4 teams I fear the most and 4 teams I fear the least.
Nice. All right. You got anything to say about that game, Nate, or any comments or?
The Washington offense, just the dual threat ability of Jaden Daniels. I think he had over 100 rushing yards too.
It's unstoppable.
I mean, it's so impressive. I don't know how they didn't win at LSU with that cast of characters last year. I don't know.
They had Brian Thomas Jr.
Neighbors and yep. I don't know. It must be their coach. I don't know.
Not enough NIL money. Couple more G's, maybe. I don't know.
That did put the Commanders into the playoffs, and it also put the Rams into the playoffs.
Oh, did it?
Yep.
Because the tiebreaker. Oh, schniddles. Okay.
That's
okay. Even with the game next week when they play each other, it doesn't.
Yep.
That doesn't matter. Wow, that's awesome.
Seattle's done.
All right. Well, my prediction came true of the Rams making it, winning that division, so that's good. I got one thing right. Anyways, my second game was Panthers versus the Bucks with a final score of 48-14. Bucks took that one down. Panthers were pretty banged up. Chuba was out, but Young played a hell of a game. But the guy that played better was with the 9-7 Bucks. The quarterback of them, that's Baker Mayfield. He was dialed in with 5 touchdown passes, 359 passing yards, and it was the 5th most he had in the regular season game. Even when they brought extra pressure, it really didn't matter. He seemed to get a little better. Baker Mayfield completed all 12 of his passes against the blitz for 90 yards and 5 touchdowns. All his touchdowns were on the blitz, were under pressure. Mayfield's 5 touchdowns against the blitz are the most in a game by a quarterback since P. Mahomes. Yeah, that's my guy right there, In week 1 of 2022, Mayfield generated plus 23.4 extra points added than what he was expected, and that was the most for a single game in his career. Mike Evans, 2 touchdowns, 97 yards. He's now within 85 yards of his 11th straight 1,000-yard season.
He will get that barring injury.
Absolutely. Bucky Irvin had 113 rushing yards and 77 yards. Receiving, he has over 1,000 yards quietly, and he was 125th pick of this year's draft. Um, yeah, the Bucks are just putting themselves in a great position to host a game and win the division. Young, like I said, he was pretty good despite no Chuba, and he was pressured under 68% of his dropbacks, and he still managed 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions or turnovers at all. So some good stuff came out of that game.
Yeah, he's moving in the right direction after a long couple years.
I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Knock on the
Yeah,
door.
you're good. Yeah, he's definitely showing some promise.
Yeah, for sure. I think that it helps when you have some good quarterbacks and like, the Bucks in your Baker Mayfield in your division, especially in a game against them at your house. Yeah, no turnovers. That's what impressed me the most about his stat
Yeah.
line. He was efficient and he was under pressure 68% of the time, and he still had no turnovers. So that shows, I think, a lot more than the big stats in the popular.
Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
and no, you're good. They pushed the ball down the field too, which was another gripe of Carolina, is that they didn't take any deep shots, and they connected on a few of
Leggett.
them, which Thielen
Leggett
had a
had a couple.
40-yarder, and
Thielen, yeah.
No, I don't think Leggett played, did he?
yeah, he played.
Did he? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Thielen had both the touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had
they
4
had
for
a couple deep
20
shots,
something.
which was
I got
encouraging.
a feeling.
And
Yeah, Joe was playing him against me. I was
Thielen?
like, what is this? Yeah.
What kind of
and
wizardry
Baker,
is this?
he was a league winner this year. He was undrafted in most leagues, and I think he finished in the top 3 quarterbacks, top 5 for sure.
Yep.
So he was definitely league
Zach?
winner this year. Baker.
Oh, yeah. Baker was insanely good. I mean, Lamar, Baker,
Burrow. Josh Allen.
It's got to be.
Don't forget.
Jaden Daniels.
Was he, though?
There's one more guy you're missing.
Were you going to say Jared Goff?
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. No, he's killing it though. His efficiency and extra points and all that stuff he's doing really well for a pocket quarterback.
Yeah.
Literally
he's
the epitome of of pocket quarterbacks. He's doing his thing. But let's move on to Jet and Scalawag. We got about 8 minutes left.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
knock these bad boys out. Next, so let's move on to Jet and Scalawag. You got a Jet? Either of you guys, Nate, do you have a Jet? I know you probably do, Andrew, but
My Jet is Baker Mayfield for winning me
you
my first
stirred.
for winning me my first ever fantasy football championship. He's my ultimate Jet.
Nice.
My
All right.
gent
Enough said.
is T. Higgins. Yeah. 3 touchdowns.
Motherfucking Higgins.
I was playing against him too in another league, which was great. Yeah, it was fun. I like how he steps up when Chase isn't like getting down. He just does the big things. He makes awesome possession catches. He's incredible.
Yeah, he was incredible.
His physicality is
Yes.
incredible. He's like a tight end. He's basically a tight end in a wide receiver's body.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Antonio
that's
Gates.
what I was
He's
trying to
Antonio
think
Gates,
of
but
that.
like a slim down Antonio Gates, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't have that like breakaway speed. I mean, maybe he does.
Speaking of tight ends, have you seen the new episode? No, I'm joking. My gent is all of those that broke records, and a couple of them were tight ends, like Travis Kelce. We mentioned that. I mentioned that earlier. And Brock Bowers now has, for the Raiders, 1,144 yards on the seasons. He had 7 catches yesterday, 108 yards on the season. He broke Puka Nakua's, who just set it last year, record of 105 receptions for the most by a rookie in NFL history. Bowers also beat out Darren Waller's record for the most catches in Raiders team history. And I want to throw a little shout out to Brian Thomas Jr. because he's just been huge. I mean, he had 91 yards and a touchdown yesterday. He might only be a rookie, but he's equipped with size, athleticism, fantastic hands, and he's going to be a problem.
Bowers also broke Mike Ditka's record for yards.
We don't say those words. That's naughty.
Oh,
We don't
sorry.
talk about no zones here. Okay.
Mike,
Sorry,
Mike
go ahead.
Ditka.
Mike
That's what it is.
Penis, Ka. Mike
Yes,
Penis,
Mike
Ka's
Penis.
name.
Yes.
Okay.
Mike Ditka's record. It stood for 60 years,
Jeez. That guy's
and he did
good.
it in
Uh,
14 games.
Yeah, I was gonna say they only played 14 back then.
That's right. But Bowers did it in 16, so he didn't do it in the extra game, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 50 years, imagine there's going to be like 28 games. So, all right. Who's your guys' scalawags?
My scallywag is the Giants fans because they cry all season when they lose, and then when they finally win, they find a way to cry even more than when they were losing all year. So I just pick one.
Speaking of
Pick one.
Giants
Mine
fans,
is
what are you wearing there really quick? Can you show the There you go.
Ah!
There you go. Okay.
Mine is the Colts
Like it.
because they got beat by the Giants, who should not have been in that game. they were like for a playoff berth.
Yeah,
And they
they
lose.
find a way to do it every
Stupid.
single year where they lose either to Jacksonville or another team where they should not lose to clinch a playoff berth.
Giants hadn't won a home game all season. That's how bad it was.
And they had
They
no
made Drew Lock look
motivation.
like an MVP.
There was no like
It-
motive to win either.
Yeah, they lost the
gotta
number
be.
one pick with that shit. They actually should be the scallywags too. You're right, Nate. I'm sorry. That's a better one. Yeah, they should do it. Like the Raiders. Like, let's go win so we can't get a quarterback next year. Aiden, you're up.
Let's go win to be bad. Yeah. Wait,
Let's
what?
win so we can't get a good player. Awesome. This isn't a great quarterback draft anyway, but still.
You never know.
Yeah.
It's like 15
I
quarterbacks
know.
in this draft, and they said it wasn't going to be very good, right? It was like 12 quarterbacks. Like, Jesus Christ.
No, they knew Caleb and Jaden both would be decent. They knew they'd be all right. I think they were projected good, and then Drake
Yeah, but
Drake May was going to be.
Bo Nix.
I mean,
Bo Nix is actually the surprise, I would say.
Jesse
he's a
McCartney-
surprise. Well, he played at Oregon.
He might be the
he's old,
worst.
He
We
played
Yeah,
a
might
lot.
never know. We might never know how good JJ. What is it?
McCarthy?
Yeah, we might not know if Sam Darnold keeps the job.
Well, he'll get traded.
Yeah, but for what? Like Trey Lance, fourth round.
He's a top 10 pick. He'll get traded for something. There's got to be draft capital somewhere in him. He's got to go do a tryout, whatever. They'll play him preseason next year and then
He
try
gets
to
so
move him
weak in
on.
his knees he could hardly speak. All right, my scalawag of the week is the Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur for losing to stupid Minnesota. And I'm stupid.
That's your scallywag.
Yes,
The last 9 teams they've played have lost.
all of them. The whole orange, yellow, whatever color they are. And green. Stupid
Okay.
faces. I hate them. I hate them.
Good
I
one,
hate them.
Yeah, that would have been nice to get that. Yeah, that would have been nice. But
Whatever. There's nothing wrong with playing a game where your butthole is really tight, and that's what's going to be happening next week. So here we go. Let's got
Teams I
any
fear
final
the
thoughts? Yeah. Give us it.
Teams I fear the most: Minnesota, Eagles, Buccaneers, Chargers. Teams I fear the least: Bengals, Broncos, Rams, Steelers.
My list be a little different. I don't have it, but Bengals definitely up there on my fear the most.
I don't fear them at all. They
I think
they had
the
no
league
time
fears
to beat
them.
Bo Nix.
I know, but I think
You think Kansas City's just middle of the pack this year, you think?
Well, I was kind of saying teams that I don't know, not the obvious ones. Kansas City.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They're getting 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're to be feared. Absolutely.
It's just they don't lose the game. Like a lot of teams lose the game. You have to beat them. They don't lose it.
I think Minnesota could beat them. I do. I think
Maybe it's
Minnesota
a
might win
Sunday.
the Super Bowl.
have
I'm not
they
kidding.
do they have a Super Bowl in the franchise history?
No.
Okay.
No.
That'd be crazy if this was a year that this is the team they did it with.
Mr.
Like a bunch
Darnold.
of like no-name defensive players, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
you can name some of them, Harrison Smith and stuff, but Flores as a defensive coordinator, Kevin O'Connell, who looks like freaking it without makeup on. I don't know. Sometimes his eyes a little leaning and shit, but Sam Darnold, And they got a hell of a receiving core and just weapons. But yeah. But anyways, that was a great episode, boys. That we're this was another episode of Two Gents and Nate, episode 50, part 1. We will be back with part 2 shortly. Give us a break. Go check your popcorn in the microwave. And come on back. We'll see you in a bit. Peace.
See you.